come a long, long way. Made a lot of mistakes, but I'm breathing, breathing. That's right, and I made it, made it. This time I'm a little run down. I've been living out loud. I can beat it, beat it. That's right, 'cause I'm feeling, feeling invincible.
Aloha friends, this is Tito coming to you again on this edition of the LoliNation blog on this marvelous Mondays. And yes, we are here today. This is a special edition because we are on Easter Monday. So I want to wish you, all of you, a blessed Easter Monday. Quite a special edition for me, couple of things. First of all, nearing my first year anniversary for the LoliNation blog, reached the milestones on Facebook, so want to be able to talk to this edition. And this is the last excerpt, which I'm going to talk about failure. And the last three editions that the vlog that I put out was regarding failure as it pertains to fear, faith, and failure, three components. Today I want to concentrate on faith, and it being on Easter Monday, it's quite, I think, appropriate depending if you believe or do not believe. It really doesn't matter, but faith is the same for everybody. Faith is that component inside of you that believes something is possible. And as I stand here today in my garden of Lavalani, in my garden in my home, as you've noticed, if for those of you who followed me, who've seen the previous blogs, you see it's full of flowers, and right now it's pretty much dead. And I thought I'd come back out here and talk to you about this component of faith that as it pertains to failure, because faith is that belief that you know is possible. Now, when we first started building this garden of ours, Devi and I, it was something that it was just a thought. It was actually a thought that was in her mind. And the faith that we had is that it would be something of beauty. Now, it is being destroyed by the harshness of winter in Canada, in Montreal here. However, we know and we live in the faith that it will bloom and blossom again because we had planted the seed. Now, sometimes we encounter, the rough spots in our lives. And that rough spot is kind of the harshness of this winter. And although we have faith that it's going to blossom and bloom again in the back of me, and that the rose will pop up and the palm will flow, we know that it's going to take work. And that's what most people forget. Faith alone is not going to make it happen. In the Bible it is said, and I'm just an amateur, it says, help yourself and heaven will help you. In French is, aide-toi et le ciel t'aidera. It's something that is so crucial. You first have to help yourself. Standing back and just waiting and having simple faith is an ignition of a thought, is a startup. For sure, you should have faith. You should have to have belief in what you're about to start. But not doing the work, not tending to your garden is not going to create it. And I must say that I have to thank my father, Tito Kang, who has been able to provide me this lesson of faith. My dad has a strong faith and belief in God, in Jesus Christ. And he has instilled that in myself. Now, that faith, that you should believe it or not, has created results. However, what I've seen from my dad, what I've learned is that with the faith required work. And I'm going to tell you a story about my dad. When we first moved to Canada, he decided to move from Thailand up to here for obvious and several reasons, but he moved out here mainly for his children. And I was his oldest child, and he decided to come out here without a job. Although he had a job up in Portland, Oregon as a professor for a university, he made the ultimate sacrifice to come out here because he felt, because I only spoke French, that he did not want to delay my progress, academically speaking, in school. And I was in 4th grade. Huge sacrifice. Coming out here with no jobs and then start to get into finding a job. Now, he's done several things when he came out here. Started to look for jobs like any other immigrant person that would come out here. Now, he's an engineer, studied at the University of Lausanne, and graduated as an engineer. came out here, started having his first job as a telemarketer for the Journal La Presse, and it was not quite his cup of tea, he tells me, interestingly enough. However, he was constantly going to this little church up in Montreal where he would pray. He would pray for guidance and help. Now, with that guidance and help, he had the faith that it would be taken care of. And before the story he told me, he said one night he had a dream. In that dream, he saw the Virgin Mary, the statue of the Virgin Mary, from that particular church that he was going to appear in front of him and told him, my son, tomorrow everything will be okay. You will find your job. Now, he believed so much that he saw that vision or that dream appear. And the next day, he actually received a job offer from Hydro-Quebec, which he has been working forever since that beginning back in 1976. From nowhere, he landed a job. Now, one would say faith would have created this opportunity. I think that it was the start and ignition of that thought. What you have to take a look into the story as well is that behind all of that, him and my mom were typing up resumes after resumes, CVs after CVs, and sending it out there so that he would get those interviews, so that he would get the opportunity. Faith is sure as a start, and faith provides you that belief that whatever you do, you are going to make it happen. I think it's a tremendous and awesome story in the sense that it reminds me that although everything I do starts with faith, without work, without my input into what I want to achieve, nothing is going to happen on its own. So I want you to think about that. As you face the failure and that you have the faith that you will succeed, you have to decide what work you are going to put into it. Without the work, it's not going to get achieved. Faith alone is just a starting point. Faith with work will create immense results for you. You know, I strongly believe, as we sit back here and it's Easter Sunday, and there's a lot of folks around the world that have a faith that believes in Christianism or Catholicism, depending on what you decide to choose on and that you believe on. If you do have the faith, you feel an energy. And I equate it to this. Within each and every one of us, I believe there is a piece of God. That you call it the universe, that you call it the energy that surrounds us, that you believe in it. You know that there is a force, a power, somehow. However you call it. And then somehow, if you are connected and you are surrounded with the people that have the same belief of that energy, you feel more propelled. That's why I strongly believe that those so-called sanctified places, those places where we feel an energy, where people either see miracles or have compass around miracles, it's actually the beauty of humans connecting with the same faith, with the same thought. And that energy once combined is so powerful that it can create miracle. So I invite you in your faith, no matter what it is, to surround yourself with the same people that have the belief that you have. Stop listening to the dream stealers and the dream takers. Start surrounding yourself with those who have a faith, either in you, either in what you do, either in themselves, so that you can get inspired and take that energy, and that you can continually transform your life. This is Tito Kang wishing you a happy Easter on this edition for the LoliNation blog. Next week I'm going to come to you and talk about my thoughts in regards to financial future and transformation. How does that matter, and what I firmly perceive coming through, and what people haven't been doing or have been doing. Hopefully it will help you in your continued road to transformation on the financial pillar. And that will be my April kind of concentration based upon what I've heard from my subscribers and my listeners. So this is a loud excerpt reminding you again, always, always do your best and make progress. And remember that, whatever you are in the past, your past made you who you are here today. The people you met, the books you read, the events that you had, the experiences that you've had made who you are here today. And whatever you do today, whatever you learn from your past and from today, and you do with what you learn to transform, you will define who you become tomorrow. There's no indication wherever you want to go, and that's what I want to be here for you. This is Tito Kang saying aloha, mahalo, happy Easter. Oh, I forgot to say, thank you very much. 2,000 likes on Facebook, and in 3 weeks I'll be celebrating 1 year of LoliNation vlog posting. Tito Kang saying aloha, mahalo, until next time, and to your prodigious success.